Hi, my name is Cole, and welcome to my Morpher Devlog series. This week, I worked on finalizing the sector select screens and adding this cool effect here. Throughout the game, players will collect stars by completing challenges that are dependent on the level. These stars are then used to unlock sectors with more levels and more challenges. On the sector box is displayed the cost of the sector, and tapping it causes this fun little shaking animation, and stars fly into the keyhole. Once the player has spent enough stars, the sector box will open in this fun little animation with a flash and these physics effects and reveal the sector. I think down below I'm going to add some sprites to showcase the morph modes for each sector. But it might be fun to kind of surprise the player with the first level. Anyway, I got to work revamping my pause screens, adding some better graphics to them. I modeled some new graphics in Illustrator and pulled some older ones from my stores. I left a lot of offset in the button to allow room for descriptions of the challenges in each level. This way I can show things like the amount of deaths that are required for certain star tiers or times, things like that. I imported the settings screen and made sure everything was aligned in the Z direction, and then added a box collider behind all of the UI elements so nothing in the player screen could be accidentally tapped while the menu was brought up. Next, I got to work on the end level screen and add some flashy animations for the star count. I haven't even begun to work on implementing sounds yet, but the list that I have is growing steadily. It was time to work on my backgrounds now, and I started adding some texture to my old sprites. I made a new platform sprite, which I'm pretty happy with. Has these danger stripe marks on them to sort of just make them really pop out against the background. The last thing I want to have happen is for the player to not understand what is a part of the level and a part of the background. Then after this came the actual outline for level 2. After watching Julia's tutorial on 2D inverse kinematics, I rigged my T-bot and started creating some patrolling animations and a ragdoll. A target for the T-bot as an indicator to the player which enemies are destructible and which are not. And then later, going off of this, I implemented this door system with these switches that are encased in glass. And it's pretty satisfying to smash these open with sounds, but I haven't gotten around to implementing the sounds yet, so for now I just added some particle effects and I call it good. Later the puzzles will get a little bit more complex with just the placement of the buttons on ceilings or on walls. For now, the first introduction is just pretty straightforward. Next, I textured some towers and started making the background for level 2. At some point, I created these gap indicators in the same style as the new platforms, just to sort of let the player know which breaks in the level they actually have to avoid and which are just changes in height. With the level pretty much finalized at this point, I added some post-processing effects, just general contrast and color balance, and I'm pretty happy with how everything has fallen together at this point. I'm making great progress, and I'm really excited for how the future levels are going to come together. I've really been working hard on the design theory behind each one, and so getting into implementation is going to be really straightforward, and level 3 is really where the game starts to pick up in intensity and complexity. So, if you want to support this project, please leave a like and subscribe. My Patreon is linked down below, and I'll see you next week.